Alright, and we're back. Here we go. And if you couldn't tell, if you're just tuning in now, yes, I'm recovering from COVID. That's why my voice sounds a bit fucky. But we're gonna roll with it and not die. God damn snark fucking... Anyways. So this part's pretty cool. I actually love this. It's neat. We also get introduced to some new, like, headcrab reskins, which are just basically just chickens. They don't have any extra stats or goodies. They're just chickens, basically. They take 2 shots with a pistol to kill. So, like I said, basic headcrab enemy variant. Not really anything threatening or intimidating, if you ask me. And we finally can get the damn wrench. So... chickens, like I said, they're not really a huge threat. They don't do anything severe. These boxes also don't contain anything on them. You can break them until the cows come home. Oh, wait. And, yeah, they're not really crazy, in my opinion. They're interesting. And we can hear all the zombies on the outside here. So, alright. Now, the new zombies that get added are a lot harder to melee. And I'll show them off really quickly. There's this hammer bastard in a minute here. So we also get the flamethrower. This thing's kind of shitty. I don't recommend using it at all. So Hammer Joe bro here, he kind of sucks shit. These guys have a really weird hitbox, I feel. Or maybe I just don't know how to melee them, but I find meleeing them is very difficult. We've also got the farmer couple zombies as well. There's so many little new zombie variants they added to this that it's just crazy. So if you break that picture with any melee object or a weapon, you can go ahead and get yourself some goodies. Now, I'm going to spoil this. You're actually going to backtrack through here later on. And when you do, and by the way, stud bulls. If you're curious, that's actually kind of how bulls can sound. I used to actually raise cattle for years, and that is kind of how they sound. They usually do that if they're, like, aroused or stressed, or, I don't know. Usually it would happen if they were, like, stressed. But, or if they were just communicating. Bull cows have a very strange vocalization. They really do. They just don't sound right. It's actually quite funny to scare people with that. But, so yeah, there's the new flamethrower is basically just the glue-on gun from Half-Life. You can get that. That's just a really iffy jump, and I don't really use it, so it's not really worth my time. But, it's... I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's not great, so I wouldn't suggest really wasting your time with it. Flamethrowers are always incredibly disappointing in games to me. The only one that's ever really pulled it off has been, like, maybe Team Fortress 2, and that's about it. So there's actually 3 Barneys in here, and they're all pretty awful. Now, I could demonstrate why those guys are harder to melee than the other zombies, but I really don't feel like demonstrating it. You don't have to kill the zombies either, because, well, we are going to backtrack through here, but they're not going to be there as well. So there's a lot more backtracking involved in this than the previous 2, but I don't think that's to really fault anything. Also, if you shoot these tanks, they don't explode. That one for the helicopter is entirely a scripted one that's meant to explode. I mean, I think it'd be cool if you could do that, because the ammo's pretty useless in my opinion. I don't know, if you like flamethrower in this game, there's something wrong with you. So anyways, here's the new enemy. They're basically just bulls. Do not try to do the Doom Pinky strat on these guys. They will fucking annihilate your ass. And they have an incredibly long death animation, as you can see. So, they're not really too bad. I just gotta keep taking in coffee quite a bit. Mainly, that's the only thing I had to do differently. Crunchy ice. Maybe it makes your ears go funny, I don't know. I like how I said immediately don't use the pinky strat, and I did it anyways. Maybe I can chalk it up to being kind of fucked up still, but I don't know, I think that was just a me fuck up. Probably a bit of both. I'm gonna say it's, my insides hating my guts, so... Anyways, be careful for that Barney, he can snipe you from here, it's really annoying. This whole area, like I said, we do come back here later on, and it is... I'll show you why I'm not really a fan of meleeing these guys. See what I mean? They just don't get stunned very easily. But yeah, there's a lot of There's a lot of stuff you get to go through twice in this mod, which I'm not really too bothered by. I think it's kind of necessary because this mod is pretty short. It's still, like I said, only about an hour. I'd say almost any good mod like should only take you a few hours to finish. You shouldn't really need something that takes like 20 hours. I've been tempted to play through Underhell, and the last time I played Underhell, it was the very old version where it was just the house, I'm pretty sure, and the action sequence. So, yeah, quit closing doors on me, fam. That's not your job, that's my job. So, go ahead and get, like, probably the assault rifle ready. Now, that Skeleman, he won't spawn until you go to this trigger here, so... Man, there's this person ripping ass. I don't know what it is with old Victorian-era paintings and shit and just ass. It was all about the ass back then, I guess. So, the Magnum really isn't super useful, and by the way, keep out of the way of those spider webs. Those actually inflict the radiation debuff, which... I don't know, I guess they're nuclear spiders? I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, I love spiders, but I wouldn't really want one covered in radiation, I guess. So, yeah, pretty much the best thing you can do is just avoid those. They don't really show up very often. It's mainly just in this section here. Also with these chickens, they don't show up very often either. There's only a handful of them in the game, and they're all pretty much isolated to this farm area, and that's about it. If I had any complaints, by the way, with this mod at this point, it's probably just the backtracking at the same time, even though I don't mind it. It almost does feel a bit unnecessary. I think the story is so stupid that it's incredible. I think that there's no competition in saying this game's story is so stupid it makes you just kind of smile. But then again, I don't think this game was meant to have a serious story. It was meant to be just an homage to, like, Night of the Living Dead and everything, which, let's be honest, those movies don't exactly have stellar plots either. So... this part's a little tough. I'm actually going to switch over to... yeah, I think this is a good combo here. So there's a shitload of those skeleton creatures. Now, don't stand in the open. Try to get yourself lined up with one of these columns and just try not to get too antsy with your ammo here, because you don't want to really piss it away. Even though you're going to get a lot of it taken away in a few minutes, don't piss your ammo away. It's not really a good idea. So, also, yeah, this is a giant Stonehenge as well. I think that's kind of cute. Jesus Christ. There we go. The accuracy on this handgun is just pretty awful, I feel like. It's nowhere as devastatingly accurate as the silencer one. There's no alt fire on it either. It's just pretty much, you know, you can hear me right-clicking like crazy. Nothing happens. It's just pretty much the same. I'm also 90% certain that that lightning will kill you if you touch it. I would strongly recommend not standing in that middle portion. Unless you really want to, and then be my guest. I'm not going to stop you. But at the same time, I do like the idea that the whole zombie thing is, like, just from, like, weird fucking weather and, like, water and shit. It's just... it's so stupid that I don't care. But yes, by the way, the bulls have an extremely long death animation. As soon as you see them twitch their head like that, they're dead. You can just consider them toast. No need in wasting any more ammo on them than you already have to. They take about an entire clip of the assault rifle, and they take about 8 shotgun shells to kill. I'm not gonna try and do the fucking math here and tell you how many pistol shots that is, because I really don't feel like doing it. It's probably about the same. It's like 50 or so shots, I'm guessing. I don't know. Like I said, these little monsters here, they don't take very much damage. It's just the fact that, like... oh, by the way, this part's fucking interesting. As far as I'm aware, this is the only time in the game this happens. So there's the tiny ones. There's one more over here. And, huh. That was a bit weird. Oh, I see. You can actually land on top of that and actually die. I think that thing just has the standard amount of health that a regular bull squid in Half-Life has. Also notice it's not recolored to white, which is kind of sloppy in my opinion, because the other ones were reskinned to be white. I guess that's just me being bitchy, but you know what? That's just who I am. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't handle me at my best. I think that's not the quote, but you know what? It's close enough, in my opinion, to be basically the same thing. I mean, I'm more familiar with the quote, if you can't handle me at my mom's spaghetti, you don't deserve me at my sweater. But that's just me, I guess, probably. So, anyways, the other thing I actually kind of do like about this mod is you get to go back to the older portions of it, like in the past, which is pretty cool. I really do love those kinds of things because, I don't know, it's always like really, oh, I've been here before, I know what this is, I love that feeling. It's kind of like in Dark Souls 1 and 3, where you go back to, like, portions that you're like, I know what this is. I love that. It's fucking cool. So, alright. Go ahead and hit the service elevator. There's no need to fuck around with this place. It's pretty dangerous, actually. And it's a little easy to get lost if you're not sure what you're doing. So, you can go ahead and climb up this. There's no bullshit Barneys in here this time. So, I mean, there's Skelemans, but that's not really a big deal. These guys are pretty negligible in terms of threat. I believe there's 2 Barneys in here still, though. Yep. I'm amazed I can remember this, considering I haven't played this in a few days. So, I mean, I have been pretty fucking ill, so my brain is kind of in, like, this weird in vitro state right now, but it's not too bad. So this is obviously where we ended the second part of the mod. And now, we can go in and do the rest of this area. Now, it is a bit difficult here, but sadly there's no Rick Rubin dude over here anymore. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't actually have any use. That's actually a death pit as well if we fall down that. I would strongly recommend against going anywhere near that. We gotta do a little bit of clever platforming, so that breaks, so obviously that's out of the question. There we go. That's probably a waste, but you know what? It's all good. I mean, if you're playing safe, you shouldn't have to worry about wasting ammo anyways. I mean, don't treat this like it's, you know, vanilla Half-Life where you can kind of just fucking shoot everything and, like, whatever. But, you know, it's still very important to make sure you're conserving ammo. And if you're ever like, why are you quick-saving so often? It's a fucking habit. I mean, Half-Life mods are notoriously always fairly difficult. So, you really don't want to replay sections. So, this part should look pretty familiar. This is also where we started the fire, kind of. I call this the firehouse section because when I first played it, I told my ex it looked like a firehouse, and she kind of agreed with me. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought too. So, anyways, this whole area is pretty dangerous. There's a lot of skelemans in here, and a skelelady, I guess, but, well, she's not a skeleton yet. Yet. Keyword there. Give it some time, and she probably would be. No, get the fuck out. I'm so relieved to have just normal-ass headcrabs and not the Afraid of Monster variety where they're just fucking awful. If you've never played that, you have no idea how fucking terrible those actually are. Those are like one of the most annoying fucking enemies in the entire world. So, alright, my cat is yelling at my roommate right now. It's kind of funny. He just wants where she's at because we're both not feeling great and he knows it. So, this seems like a trick, perhaps. Oh, Framped, come here. Oh no, someone's walking up on me.
You's trapped like a deer at the hunting club. Now you's gonna pay for screwing with this place. Take 'em away, boys.
What the fuck was that squat for? But alright. So that's pretty much, you know, expected. Very Half-Life 1-y. You know, getting captured by the HECU squad. Which is pretty, you know, what this is reminiscent of, I'm guessing. And yeah, this is 100% unnecessary, in my opinion. I think this should have been like a few seconds. But nope. It ends up being like a solid minute. You see, like I said, just 5 seconds of that would have been more than enough. I know I'm bitching, but... Yeah, you tell them, Quake zombies. What is he doing? Grrr, I know. I like how it just disappears, by the way. That is very odd, but it just happens. So... Oh no, it looks like the military's kicking some ass. Alright. Oh man, you fuck him up, Bullwinkle. You get him good. Yeah. That one just did not give a shit and just landed right in fire. That was amazing. So this is all scripted for the most part. I think there's very little things we can actually do to change the outcome of all this. But, yeah, pretty much at this point, now we're going to get introduced to the military enemies. You heard me correctly. They're all enemies. There's no good ones. So, I'll end the session in a few seconds, but this part is a little bit difficult just to get out of. So first things first, get rid of Bullwinkle here. He's kind of an asshole. Now, this thing is going to do the most damage to me if I leave it alone. There we go. Oh, Jesus. I am not a fan of being shot at with, like, no ammo. It's really annoying. So, we do need to kill that Barney, though, because if we don't, well, it's a really bad time. So, I'm actually going to leave these zombies alone because I don't really need to fight them. There's not really any purpose in this, like, point in time. Because all it would be doing is just wasting ammo and time and health, possibly, if I fuck up. So, just gonna ignore these zombies for now. Also, this is funny to point out, I never see those Quake zombies get reused any other point in the game. But, yeah. You can see why I'm just like, okay, you don't really need to fight these things, because it's just a complete waste of time. But, yeah, I'm gonna call it a session for now. Just gonna pause it here so I don't have to fucking deal with this in a few seconds, so... I'll see you in the next one.